Hey there, bowlers. Welcome back to Bowling with Buddy. It's been a while since I've been shooting any videos. Spent the last probably about 2 months, 3 months bowling with the PBA 50 Tour, trying to compete with those guys, and I got to tell you, they are the exceptional best in the world out there. Cannot take anything away from those guys. Got to bowl the World Series of Bowling. Did okay there. Got to play the Players Championship. Actually did really good there. Came in 25th. Then moved on and bowled in the Villages and then Fort Myers. Didn't bowl as well as I wanted to, but I hung, did as long as I could, and you know, hey, it is what it is. But I'm back in town, back in Tamarack, Florida here at Bolero Tamarack, and just got done working with Tony Levance in a Bowler's Ed Pro Shop. You're in town and you need some equipment, you need drilling, anything, you got to come see him. And I'm here today to talk with you about the Roto Grip clone. And I've thrown a few practice shots with this, and at first I was like, wow, this isn't a ball for me. But I've thrown a few shots, I've kind of gotten lined in, and it really turns the corner pretty hard. So I'm anxious to kind of show you what that looks like. And yeah, but besides the point, just so you know that, I mean, I do bowl on tour. Doesn't mean I'm some expert, knowledgeable bowler. I do my best. I throw my best. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to try and show you where I throw the ball. I know I'm going to say I'm going to aim at a target. I know I'm going to miss it 2 or 3 left. I typically do that with all my shots. But let's go ahead and get started, and let's go from there. Let's hopefully make this look good. All right, we're going to get started here today. I already know this ball hooks, so I'm not even going to attempt to stand to the right. I'm going to put my foot on 25. I'm going to look at about 14 at the arrows. I hope to hit it. Usually I do, but 14 at the arrows and probably about 7 down lane. Miss left a little. Miss left, you're going to hit left. All right, let's see if we can execute a little better this time. Again, I'm going to be looking at 14 around the arrows and 7 down lane. I hit my spots. I said at the beginning of this video, this ball hooks, and when it turns, it just keeps going. This is kind of a used up house shot from the high school bowlers earlier today. So again, the house shot here at Bolero Tamarack is about 43 feet long and probably about 28 mils of volume. So the clone showing pretty good right now. To show that wasn't a fluke, I'm going to stand in the same spot, 25, and I'm going to throw this ball over 14 and out to about 7. Not bad at all. Ball's actually showing pretty good promise here on this house shot and being able to move left or right, watch a hook back. But you know, hey, that's a house shot. Ball rolls really strong though on the backside. I mean, really strong. I'm going to compare it later to the Eternity, the 900 Global Eternity, to kind of give you a comparison on how those two big ASIM weight blocks compare to each other. All right, I'm going to move about 3 left. I'm standing about 28, and I'm going to move my eyes to about 14 at the arrows, and probably hit about 8 down lane. I hit at the arrows. I got a little further right than I want, but did you see how that thing turned back? Wow, wow. I'm going to try that again, standing at 28. I'm looking at 14 at the arrows, and I really only went hit about 8 down lane. How do you like that trip for? Again, Bobby Walters Jr., I'll pay you royalties. I know that's your shot, but that ball turned really well. I'm going to move further left and see how far I can go with this before this ball stops responding. All right, so right now I'm standing 31 with my feet. I'm going to look at about 16, 17 at the arrows, see what it does. I'm still slapping out the 10 pin and I move left. As I've said in my previous videos, I don't have a lot of revs. I don't put a lot on the ball. So I really depend on sometimes these, higher hooking balls to give myself the ability to move left and recover. This is a ball so far that's been able to do that for me. Kind of excited and see how far I can go left with this and keep having it work for me. All right, now I'm gonna stand 35 with my feet and I'm gonna look at 18, 19 at the arrows and see what we can do. All right, it's a house shot. The ball's gonna hook back. There's a ton of friction out there on the outside, but get that ball to go through the pins the way it is right now is really nice to see. And it's nice to be able to see that ball shape and do what it's doing right now. And for the most part, it is mostly fresh. And I'd love to see what it can do once we burn up the pattern a little more, or the house shot, and see what it can do. All right, just a little further. I'm gonna move a little further left. Now I'm gonna look at 21, 22, and see what I can get this clone to do. Wow, when you leave a 7 pin like that, can't complain. I mean, that ball hit with power. Hey, let's see what we can do now with the Eternity and see if the Eternity can look as good as what this clone is looking like. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna compare the clone to the Eternity. The reason I'm doing this is because I never owned the UFO Alert or any of those other bowling balls. Never had one of those. So I have no idea how to compare to them or what they would look like or anything like that. I couldn't tell you. But I do know what the Eternity can do, and I know how well it rolls. And their numbers aren't identical. They're pretty close to each other, but the reason I picked them is because they both have really big weight blocks inside. And I have them both drilled the same, and they're both with the same kind of surface. I hit 1,000, one of the CTT bads on them, so they're pretty much in that aspect. They're not out of box. So I'm going to throw the Eternity and kind of give you an idea of how that ball shapes on the lane as compared to what you just saw on the clone. So let me get bowling and see what it looks like. All right, so I'm going to stand 25 with my feet. Again, I'm going to look at about 14 at the arrows and throw the ball down lane. Really wasn't my best throw. Could have been a little better than that. I kind of threw that direct, kind of twirled it. So not the best representation, but ball kind of rolled flat. Didn't have much shape to it. So we're going to try that again. All right, so I'm going to, again, standing at 25, I'm looking at 14 at the arrows, and I really want to hit about 7 down lane. Again, I missed inside. Yeah, house shot, got away with it, tugged it inside. Not much shape either, just kind of jammed it in there. So let me try and execute a little better, see what can happen. Okay, I'm going to slow down a little bit, settle down, throw a good executed shot. All right, so the only thing consistent right now is me missing on the inside. The ball's striking. It doesn't have a lot of shape down lane. I think if I were to miss inside with the clone, that clone would probably have hit the 2 pin. The Eternity's not. It's setting up right along the oil line and just walking in. But I'm going to keep trying to hit a quality shot here and see if I can throw something normal. 25 with my feet, 14 at the arrows. Oh, I hit my targets. Okay, so I hit my targets and I didn't strike. What that tells me right there is maybe I was missing in the right spot with this ball. As you saw in the previous throws, when I threw the clone in that same area, it really it peeled off and went through the pins pretty solid and just kind of kept driving through over the 8-pin. Whereas the Eternity kind of labored once I got in that spot. Now, don't get me wrong, the labor, the Eternity can do more. Probably if I put a little more hand into it, it'll probably definitely come off the spot that way. But just off of basic release, the simple rolling release that I'm doing right now, the clone is showing a more of response than the Eternity. Let me throw the Eternity a couple more times, move left, kind of give you an idea. All right, so I'm gonna stand 29 now with this ball, and I'm gonna throw the ball over, I'm looking at 14, 15, and see what I can do. So now I'm going to stand about 32, 33 with my feet, and I'm going to look at about 16, 17 with the arrows. All right. That's exactly what I was expecting to happen with the Eternity. If I don't give it the business, if I don't really put something on it with that ball, it's just not going to recover like that. Whereas I threw the clone, and I didn't really hit up on it or anything. Just kind of rolled it off my hand, and the ball went through the pins like crazy.
Please come up to the whatever you want to call it.
Whereas the Eternity actually did really, really good at backing off from going through the pins. So here's what my assessment is. The Eternity is a really, really great ball. When I'm in a situation where I need to slow up the back end, still have that big core hitting power, and get through the fronts pretty nice. And that's what the Eternity kind of gives for me. And I found that really successful on, like, say, the Monticelli pattern as well as the Petraglia pattern. Ball really got through the fronts for me when they got burned up, and it didn't over-respond on the backside. I think if I was on those same patterns and I was throwing the clone, I'd probably have to move more left and give this ball more time to respond. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to the clone, throw a few more shots for that, and then wrap this up. All right, like I said, I'm back in the clone, and I'm actually kind of moved right a little bit and square up and see what this ball does, playing up the right-hand side. I got a feeling I'm going to go through the nose or maybe go through the 2-pin. I am going to pick up the ball speed and see how we can manage that. So I'm putting my left foot on the big dot, and I'm going to look at about, I want to say 7, 8 at the arrows, and just kind of go down with it. Not my best release. I kind of pinched it with my thumb, so it didn't have the best reaction. So let me do it one more time to kind of get a better roll for the ball. All right, I'm going to stand on the big dot again with my left foot. I'm going to look at about 7, 8 at the arrows and see what we can do.
Okay, head to the midfield. You want to come around? Like we'll start reading the rules.
That was actually really, really good. Ball went much further down the lane than I kind of expected, but I also kind of threw it a little harder, a little faster. Had a nice shape. So in that situation, if I was on a house shot, which I am, and I need to use this and I wanted to have this as a fresh, I probably could. I'm just kind of throwing hard. And with the ability that it has for moving left and hooking down lane, hey, it's a pretty good ball to have in your arsenal. So let me try one more time. Yeah, I'm gonna stand on the big dot. I'm gonna throw over the 7, 8 board, throw it down lane, see what we get.
Okay, I'm gonna hold this meeting to order. The first order of business is to elect officers.
Not bad, not bad.
I'll open the floor.
All right, wall went down, I kind of leaked it right a little bit. It held in and went through the pins. So let me wrap this up in a moment. Okay, so I just spent the last half an hour or whatever kind of throwing some bowling ball for you. The Roto Grip clone. This is my drilling, kind of 5x5x3, and I just got comparing it to the Eternity. So basically what I'm finding is this clone's strong. This clone is extremely strong in the sense that, you know, the surface of this ball has a lot more friction to it than say what the Eternity had. And, you know, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not a technical person. I never claimed to be, never, you know, claimed to say I have all that knowledge. I just kind of put my hand in the ball, kind of throw it, and based on the reaction, I kind of see where it's at. People like Chris Barnes, who has an absolute talent and a half with a bowling ball and knows numbers and, you know, all the stuff and how it applies to a ball and how it rolls and when to use it. You got to check out the Beef and Barnesy channel. You got to check out what they've got. Check out his ball reviews if you really need a technical perspective on what the numbers mean and how they're going to play out. I'm just going to throw the ball, which is what I did, and kind of give you an idea that this ball is considerably stronger than the Eternity. If I'm going to go be, you know, putting in a kind of like a Pearl ASIM ball in my hand. Overall, I think that the clone is going to be pretty good. It's really strong, and I'm going to be able to move left, and when the lanes kind of get a little crispy, I can probably throw this ball right and watch it recover and kind of give myself a little more room. Anyways, I appreciate you guys checking out my channel. If you can like it, subscribe it, share it, do all that good stuff. It really helps me grow my channel as we're trying to do more for these for you. Until then, keep your eyes out. I'm going to be doing another video here real short on the Tour Dynamics. If not, maybe you watched the Tour Dynamics before this one. But either way, they're coming out soon. Thank you again for everything, you guys. Thank you for all the support and encouragement. If you've got any questions, put them down in the comments below. I'll answer everything as much as I can and give you as much advice as I can. Till then, keep striking, be humble, and be kind.